just got back from the gym on day 1 of my new plan, and I thought I'd document it. Before I talk about how today went at the gym, I thought I would talk about this series in general. So the goal of it is to document my journey of getting my fitness back. And that's sort of a lofty phrase, because really it's not like I've lost all my fitness. I would still consider myself a mostly athletic person, but I'm nowhere near as athletic and strong as I used to be. And so it's time for getting it back. So the plan is as follows: Tuesdays, gym. Wednesdays is going to be a cardio day, and for the most part that's going to be a run. If I'm feeling like, no, I absolutely do not want to go on a run, because I have to put my hands up and say, it's not my favourite form of cardio. I would much rather go to a dance class or go roller skating or do almost anything other than a run. So that kind of gathers the question, why? Well, I want to be able to run. And then on a Thursday is going to be gym, but my other plan. Now I have a 7-day week, but the reason I'm putting them all very close together, which if you asked me, I would say is not the best idea. I'd be like, why are you doing that? Why don't you space them out so that you've got more recovery time? And that's because I am usually away Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So if I go to the gym in the morning on a Thursday and then I go away, it means that while I'm away I don't need to train. I could if I want to, but for the most part I'm going to be doing combat while I'm away. I also don't sleep the best while I'm away, and so sometimes it takes me like time to recover from that. And it's usually a Monday or a Tuesday that I feel like I could do a workout, but it's definitely not a Sunday or a Saturday, because I'm usually very tired from not sleeping very well. So talking about today at the gym, day 1, and ultimately like it was fine, it was nice, but it's also just different to what I'm used to. I'm really used to corporate gyms, like a Pure Gym or a Kiss Gym, The Gym. Those are the kind of gyms that I've gone to for most of my life. And so going to something that's very different and has quite different kit, I'm just a bit like, a bit uneasy, a bit frustrated in a way, because I have to learn a slightly new way of doing the exercises that I'm used to. And so there's just like things where like the muscle memory feels different, and it's taking a bit of time for me to figure out, okay, how do I do this here? And I think there's always an element of like, when you go back to the gym, there's an element of feeling like, I'm getting back into it doesn't feel like a really comfortable routine. But when you're used to like a Pure Gym, for example, you can go to any Pure Gym in the country and it's going to be the same kit, whereas this is different equipment and it's feeling quite different. So I just need to get used to it. So that's day 1 and the introduction to this series. I feel like I should do like a physique shot so we can see the difference after, but I don't know, I kind of don't like that, because it's not about that. I'm going to look whatever way I look, however that comes, as long as I'm healthy, it's fine. But it would be interesting to track that, so let's record that. Before I do this body check-in, I do think it's worth noting where I am in my cycle, because I could look completely different at the start of my cycle towards the end of my cycle. So day 8 is where we are. Here's how we're looking. Like one thing that would be useful to see, maybe I'll do it this way around, is my arm, like this. Also I used to have like triceps that you could see, not really anymore. Day 1. It's day 2 of the plan and my first run.
Workout completed. Time 20 minutes 6 seconds. Distance 2.18 kilometers. Average pace 9:12 per kilometer.
That was kind of a weird run in that when I started it, I decided to run up the track because it's a really lovely day and there's lots of fields and it's just really nice and peaceful up there. But I forgot that the start of it is a hill. So I was running and I was like, this is hard. This is hard. And it's not supposed to be hard. Like the first run, if you've ever done it on the Nike Run app, is the whole point in it is that it's supposed to be super easy, super chill. And it was that, but also in hindsight, probably shouldn't have started on a run that starts with a hill. Considering that the goal was just to get out, get started, have a little go, I achieved that. Yeah, I just love the Nike Run app. They've got really cool coaches on there that are they've got really cool energy, and the whole time the coach is like, we're just running slowly right now, we're having a nice time, we're not going to be pushing ourselves because that's not the point in this run. The point is to enjoy ourselves and get back out there and cross the starting line. And so I just love the mindset of it, and I think that really makes it more accessible and it gets you back into it. Like the reason that I went out today is because, or the reason I was able to go out, considering that I was like, a bit tired, don't really fancy it, like I almost sat at my desk and started doing my work for today. I was like, no, do you know what, I've said that I'm going to do this. I could do it later on in the day, but it's a lovely day, and if I do it now, then I can have a shower and then it's done, and all I have to think about is my work. And the thing that got me to do it is the knowledge that that run on the Nike app is super chill. It's not too long, it's not too fast, and the coach is really inspiring, I guess is the word, like encouraging, really encouraging. And I just think the Nike Run app's great. You know, this is classic, isn't it? It's like day one, day two, like week one, everything's really positive, everything's really great. Cut to week 3 and I'll be like, I don't want to go, haven't made it today. But no, I'm not going to foreshadow that. I'm going to foreshadow keeping up the habit, no matter how small. And that's one of the big things that I'm going to take forward with this, is that even if I'm not doing it full out, even if I'm not, lifting as much or lifting at all at the gym, or maybe I'm not even going for a run, maybe I'm just putting my trainers on and walking on the treadmill, like I'm keeping up that habit and I'm showing up for myself. And that's the main thing that I'm focused on working on, is just showing up. And then whatever I do after that is a bonus. It's day 3. I'm back from the gym, and that was an interesting session. I had a great time all in all, but I was sore and tired when I went. But that didn't seem to really impact me at all, which is really good to know, because I think in the past that's definitely held me back. I've sort of been like, I don't want to go to the gym because I've got DOMs, but actually I went and I was fine. I started off with my usual rowing, then I did my mobilisation and my stretch. I know some people will say that you're not supposed to do static stretching before lifting, and that's totally valid. But with my dance training, if I don't do a stretch, my body just feels like cardboard. If I've done cardio, mobilisation and stretch, then I feel ready to do pretty much anything. So I did that. That's how I always start any gym session. And then I did deadlifts, which I dropped the weight a little bit from the last time I did it, and it felt fine. I think with time I can definitely get that weight back up. It has been a long time since I've been to the gym consistently, so I imagine that weight will go up fairly quickly as I get back into it. That's usually what has happened in the past. So I did deadlift, then I did lat pull down, and I normally do them in the usual spot. I mean, you can do lat pull downs in lots of different ways, but with the really long bar, but that wasn't working. And in hindsight, I could have just taken the bar off and put it on the cable that I did use in the end, but I don't know why I didn't. I think I wanted to try a slightly different grip, because I've always felt those lat pull downs are just not quite, dunno. You know when some things just don't feel like, some movements you do and they're like, that's so good. Like you just feel it all feels like it's in the right place and it's squeezing really nice. And then there are other moves that you do where you're like, yeah, it's kind of fine, but it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel great. Whereas this, I used a different grip. And so I put that on and had to go with that. I tried it in a couple of different stances in terms of like where I was on the floor. I tried it with one knee up, and then I was like, that's fine, but I wonder if I could do it sort of sat with my knees up. So I tried that, and that was a lot better. And I really enjoyed that with that change of attachment, that change of grip. After that, I did bench press on the Smith machine, and I have done bench press with barbells, like free weights, for the longest time. And it's the one lift that I just really struggle to up the weight on. And I think it's mostly in my head, but there's like a bit of a, not a fear necessarily, because it's not like I'm going up and I'm like, I'm scared, I don't want to do it. It's just like a discomfort to putting more weight on, because if I put more weight on, I feel like it's harder for me to like really push out those last few reps. And so I've noticed that I'm sort of not pushing myself as much as I could on bench press with just a barbell, because I feel if I had someone to spot me, it would be totally different, because they could make sure that I don't drop it and that I get up that last little bit. But I've always felt that bench press is just a bit lackluster for me. But anyway, I was able to put more weight on, but mainly I was able to push myself a lot more. I was able to work at a higher intensity because I knew that I could really push that bar up, and even if I didn't get a full rep or if I failed, I could just re-rack it and I wouldn't drop it on myself. So I really enjoyed that, and I think I'm gonna keep that in. And then after that I did squats on the Smith machine, which I believe I've done in the past. I've tried them before. And so I was just playing around with sort of how far out my feet are, how narrow they are, how wide they are, how like turned out my feet were, to try and feel what felt right for me and how I would feel it in my glutes. But as I was doing those exercises, I was just getting lightheaded. I think I was just needing some fuel, needing some food. And so I kind of cut my reps short because I could feel myself just going like woozy as I was lifting. I was like, I need to stop here. It was the end of my workout then anyway. But yeah, all in all, that was a really good session, and there was definitely some discomfort there. I was trying out new things, but that's okay. And also I'm glad that I managed to find some things that I think are better for me. So that's the end of week 1. It's only been 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but those are my 3 workouts for the week, aside from what I'm doing combat-wise. And so I'm now gonna rest for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and potentially Monday. I might do Tuesday's workouts on Mondays if I so feel it, but I think it will probably still be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm proud of myself for turning up. I'm proud of myself for coming up with a plan and sticking to it this week. I hope that I can continue to stick to it moving forwards. Let's see.